So growing up, I always admired people who could create concept art and translate it into assets to use in video games. And as an artist, I've always been drawn to creating dark characters and monsters, and I had a really tough time translating that into something workable in a game. So over the past few years, I had a pleasure of working with amazing people in the gaming industry and picked up new skills along the way. It is all still a learning experience and I want to share it all with you. Part of that experience was creating 3D assets from simple pixel art and created a full-length game that's coming out later on this year on the Sandbox platform. Now that we're wrapping up the project, I wanted to go back to my roots and create a 2D pixel game and a brand new character that fits in my universe. And the game will revolve around an octopus alien invading Earth, with our main savior being a brave duck that's called Duck Norris. And I aim to take you along the way with the journey and create something a little bit outside of the box. And this is the first time I actually use sprites. I've usually used Photoshop and Pixel Edit. So coming into this, I had two things in mind. I wanted to use a full suite that can help me create art faster. And especially now that I'm working on 2D assets for Pixel, I wanted to take full advantage of what Sprite can offer, especially making backgrounds and doing tiles and etc. And now looking at the designs, I wanted to create my first character, which is Duck Norris. And I wanted to make it look a little bit lighthearted because I initially wanted to make a game very dark. But if I keep the main character kind of fun and unpredictable, it could also throw people off, and it could push me in a way that I didn't know that it could be pushed. So by doing that, I'm trying to keep the game in a way a little bit serious, but the character kind of funny. So with this design in mind, I wanted to keep it the same, similar to what I'm doing with Octaheads, where I have an octopus on the head, but now I'm keeping a duck on the head. And that was kind of the big contrast, because all the octopi coming on Earth and they're invading, so I wanted the duck to kind of mimic. So I wanted the duck to kind of control something else and go on and fight back. So I wanted to keep the color palettes very, very bright, and that would distinguish the forces, especially when I'm working on the sprites. And now I'm just wrapping up real quick. This is a very first concept. I might change it later, but I kind of like how it came together. Now with these, I wasn't sure if I wanted to make the duck hovering or walking, but to start, I'm just gonna make it walk. So now when we finish and wrap this up, we're gonna go ahead and work on the sprite. One thing that was a little bit a challenge working with this one was trying to make sure that I can distinguish between the duck and whatever the duck is on, whatever head the duck is on. Initially, I wanted to make it as an AI robot, but I thought, well, why don't I make it like a platypus? And I thought that would probably look a lot better when you translate it into a sprite. So now we're working on the sprite, and I wanted to keep all the colors the same, so I'm just going back and forth putting all the colors. And the sprite is 32 by 32, which kind of gives me an option. If I want to scale it up to 64, I can do that. So I'm still kind of rusty with when it comes to making animations, so I wanted to go in strong and give that a shot. So first animation I wanted to create is the idle animation, so we're gonna work on that right now. And just a very simple breathing animation, and that will be something I can work with, at least with prototyping. And I wanted to keep in mind that when I'm doing the idle animation, I wanted also to get the duck moving, and at the same time I wanted to do something with the hand, so it kind of make it a little bit alive and not stiff. And we were always working on a sprite or any pixel. You'll always have this option to know that you can come back and change it later if you don't like it, because it's only 32 by 32. And I'm kind of liking how the animation working. I think there is something I can do with the hands, but for now it's good enough. Next, I'm working on the walking animation, and this is the kryptonite of many animators, and I'm still kind of getting used to how to do a walking animation. It's It's really good to go and look at references, which I've done for this one, but I know I'm going to come back and try and refine it later and make sure that I got the walking, and especially if I'm doing a sprint animation later, I have to get that done right, because I don't want the character to stand upright when it's running. I want to give it a little bit like a 15-degree tilt to the front, so I'm going to do that later. But for the time being, we're just working on the very simple walking animation, which is only 8 frames. And now we're just looking at that. I'm gonna import it into my scene and make sure that it works. So this is a Live the Life Academy website that we're prototyping on. And this is a full-on academy, not just for pixel art. We're doing a lot of different things with art, technology, and mindfulness. So if you want to check it out, we also have a Discord server which you can come in and share your work, and let's grow together. So if you like this video, make sure to leave it a like and a comment. It will help me grow and help the algorithm. And if you enjoyed this one, you might enjoy this other video where I painted the Batman, and I think you will like it a lot. Just remember, take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.